Is Sasuke Uchiha a bad father? In today's Naruto discussion, I plan to look at why Naruto's rival Sasuke may or may not be a bad father. There is perhaps no more iconic scene from Naruto Gaiden than Sasuke failing to recognize his own daughter and pulling his sword on her. Make no mistake, if Sarada had not found the strength to speak her name, then it is very likely that Sasuke would have physically harmed her or maybe outright killed her. This moment is the one that a lot of people use when they say that Sasuke is a bad father. However, in order to properly judge whether or not Sasuke is a bad father, we need to both look at his upbringing and his reasons for staying away from his family. During Sasuke's first fight with Naruto, which occurred in chapter 218, we get flashbacks of Sasuke's childhood. One thing that stood out was how Fugaku Uchiha was both cold and distant as a father, giving Sasuke doses of tough love while seemingly playing favorites with the oldest son Itachi. As a child, Sasuke never received affection from his father that was not directed at him when Sasuke was a newborn infant. Whenever Fugaku did praise Sasuke, it was always in comparison to Itachi. This led to Sasuke feeling as if he would never be a good enough son for his father. In hindsight, we all know that Fugaku took a less hands-on approach with Sasuke. One thing that sociologists like to say is that when people become parents, they often mimic the parental style of their own parents. For Sasuke, being hands-off and allowing Sakura to raise their child made the most sense because it is what he himself grew up with. This brings us to why Sasuke didn't ever call or visit his family when he was in the village, which we do know he returned to the village on more than one occasion before the events of Naruto Gaiden. This is perhaps the strongest argument for Sasuke being a bad father. If he would have visited his family, then he would have known what Sarada looked like, and he would never have pulled a sword on her when he nearly killed her during the events of Naruto Gaiden. While this is certainly a very valid argument, it only tells half the story when it comes to Sasuke as a father. Sure, the guy never changed a diaper, but he had a good reason for not doing any of these. Sasuke was not only on a mission to gather information on Kaguya, which would be too dangerous for Sasuke to carry out if it was known that he had a daughter who could be used against him. We've seen on more than one occasion that Sasuke will not hesitate to put himself in harm's way to protect his daughter, and in the novelization for the Boruto movie, Sasuke adamantly refuses to allow Sarada to accompany him when he goes on the Naruto rescue mission with Boruto and the other 5 Kage. Most importantly, Sasuke was taking a very active role in taking down rogue organizations. We know from the Sasuke Shinden novel that there was more than one person who was interested in Sasuke because he was the sole remaining survivor of the Uchiha clan, whether it be because of their own grudges like Chino or because they were interested in his Kekkei Genkai. This is very likely why when Sakura gave birth to Sarada in Orochimaru's hideout, that he didn't record her birth in any of the Konoha hospital records. If someone were to discover that Sasuke had a child, she would instantly become a target, either for her own Sharingan or as a way to capture Sasuke. Now, the Boruto anime adds a filler scene where Sarada is looking through a book on the Uchiha clan that lists her as Sasuke's child. However, it is worth noting that this was never in the Naruto Gaiden manga that was released and created by Kishimoto. And it's also worth noting that in none of the Naruto New Era project releases, including Naruto Gaiden, was this ever mentioned. At the end of Gaiden, it is revealed that yet another reason why Sarada was born at the hideout is because Sakura for a time traveled with Sasuke. However, as previously stated, Sarada does not have a public birth record listing her as Sasuke's daughter for the same reason that Shin Uchiha tried to kidnap her. By the time that Sarada would enroll in the academy, which would place her on the ninja registry as an Uchiha when she finally became a genin, Sarada not only would be skilled enough to protect herself, but she would also be under the supervision of a very skilled jonin who ended up being Konohamaru. So what do you guys think? Is Sasuke indeed a bad father, or was he a guy who just happened to have a kid at the wrong time in his life?